Hello everybody out there and welcome to the comic recap for week 306, but this is the first episode that we are recording of the comic book recap. And this episode is going to be a little bit longer than your average comic recap because this is the first time we are doing this. Now you saw Mike wave and now he's behind the camera. How we're going to let me introduce what the comic recap is for those of you that are just seeing this for the first time. Maybe you're watching this years later. The comic recap is basically mine and Mike's books in one episode, both independent, big two. We will be briefly talking about every book we reviewed this week, which was week 306. It is not a review at all. If you'd like to see any of the reviews for any of the books that we have here, physically or digitally, Michael is behind the camera because we are going to start these shows off always with the digital books, and he has all the pictures on his iPod, so he'll be in back of the camera to show you guys the pictures of the covers for the comics. And then once we finish the digital stuff, we go into the physical stuff. These episodes normally will not go beyond 15 to 20 minutes long. These are brief rundowns of books that we've reviewed on this channel and on Comic Frontline. Now this week our reviews were late. We fought to catch up so we'd be ready for Wednesday. So all the books in this review were reviewed on Dark Avengers CA6, this channel, this week. Starting next week, some books will be reviewed on Frontline and some books will be reviewed on here. Anything we review on Frontline, we'll talk a little bit more on this recap. But again, this is a recap, so if you're looking for reviews, I urge you to check out our reviews on this channel or on Comic Frontline. Alright, let's start it off. Now, digitally this week, Michael, what do you got on the digital list?
I got Vampirella, Army of Darkness, issue number 3.
This was a really great issue. I enjoyed the artwork and the story progressed really nicely. It was basically the trial of Vampirella. Really good stuff.
Okay, next one is mine, which is Boy 1, issue number 2. I like the comic book. Talks more about the clones and what Jadis is going through. Definite must read from IDW. Alright, next one is Insufferable. I believe this is issue number 5.
This was a good issue, I agree.
Yeah, this one was a really great issue. Action-packed, amazing. Gillid, just awesome with his stuff of what he did in this issue.
You can keep the cover on the screen so this way it doesn't look like they're just looking at me not looking at it.
Alright, well, I didn't know. Atomic Robo, issue number 1. A great first issue of looking for Atomic Robo, and we get a little bit of a briefie about this robot and stuff like that. Next is King Tiger, issue number 2 of 4. Talks about demonic stuff, including King Tiger when he tells his girlfriend about the secret, and oh boy, how she takes it. Next one is Mirror's Edge Exordium. Yeah, number 1.
A really great book this week. Sorry guys, I fixed something. This is a really great book this week. I enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Mirror's Edge, you're going to love this book. If you have no clue about Mirror's Edge, I would still recommend checking it out for a really great artwork and a nice story, but I would definitely say if you're a fan of the series, this follows Faith after the first game, and obviously this is a mini-series setting us up or getting us ready for Mirror's Edge 2, which is coming out next year.
Okay. Next one is Onyx, issue number 3.
2.
Oh, 2, I'm sorry, issue 2.
I really enjoyed this issue of Onyx. It feels like forever since issue 1 came out. Great artwork. The story is progressing really, really nicely. I'm enjoying it immensely. I would definitely recommend checking the series out.
Okay. Next one is Red Sonja and Conan, issue number 2. I really like the team up between Red Sonja and Conan. They make a great team, and I'm glad that they made a volume 2 of issue number 2. Next one is the 7% Solution of how would you say this?
Sherlock Holmes.
The Sherlock Holmes. This issue number 2. It's a little bit of a story. It's going a little bit downhill. It's basically Sherlock Holmes' brother just looking for more information about Sherlock Holmes, and then in the end they meet Sigmund Freud. That's a bit of a twist in the end for that. Long Distance Last Issue, issue number 4. Great issue. Definitely get a trade paperback. A high recommendation. It spoke out to me. For those of you who are in long distance relationships, then this is definitely the one for you. Super Angry Birds, issue number 1.
This was a very interesting book.
This was a very interesting book. It is definitely the more evolved version of Angry Birds in different levels.
It's Angry Birds meets superheroes, basically.
Exactly. Korvac Saga, issue number 4, the final issue of where it's Michael Korvac against the team and the whole Doom thing that's happening. Oh boy, wait to see that issue. Red Skull issue number 3 is another issue where Magneto gets killed, but Red Skull as well. So
Spoilers.
as a spoiler, yeah. So definitely good with some okay artwork. Justice League United issue number 13. It's going a little bit downhill, and ironically, this is getting canceled. Go figure, new team, I wouldn't blame them. And finally is Unity, issue number 22. Great team book, everyone comes back and goes after Warmonger, and it was just an awesome book. Definitely must get from Valiant. And those are all the books digitally.
Alright, so now we're moving into the physical books. Now I've got a couple more than Michael, so I'm going to do the first two, and then Michael's going to jump in with me. So, first we got Star Trek Green Lantern, issue number 3 of 6. This is the crossover between IDW and DC Comics. Great artwork. I'm really enjoying the story so far. This is a really great issue. If you haven't jumped in yet, if you're a fan of Star Trek, if you're a fan of Green Lantern, I would definitely recommend this series. I really enjoyed it. Batman 44, I'm warning you guys now, do not read the description. It will throw you off. This is a $5 book that's supposed to be giving us an origin or a tale of Mr. Bloom. Does not. The artwork's great. The story is really good. It's just misleading. The what do you call it? The advertisement for it is misleading. It is a story in the past. It's basically an annual issue with Batman trying to find the killer to this kid who died, and it turns out it has Mr. Bloom in it for like one panel or two, and then that's it. So up to you guys. I enjoyed it, but again, it is the artwork is not by Greg Capullo, by the way, also, but still good. It is basically a standalone story.
Okay. Ninjak issue number 7. Just straight through brief, it is Ninjak against Sanguine, and it was a really intense fight. Definitely must read for those of you who have been reading Ninjak, because it's just really that amazing. Sock that. Oh, I thought
Secret Wars 2099 issue number 5. Yeah, no, I had 2 more than you. This is a good final issue. It leaves you wanting a little bit more from Roberta. The artwork, however, is really good. I would definitely recommend checking this book out.
Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 276. It has 2 stories, but a bit of a one-part story, actually, which is kind of weird. But all in all, I like the route that that's going to, and for those of you Sonic fans, you'll definitely be picking this up because there is some Sonic Werehog action, so definitely must get if you like those.
A-Force issue number 4, the penultimate issue for the series. Loving the artwork, really loving the story. Lots of really great stuff going on with this book. I cannot wait to see it when we get back to the main Marvel Universe.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Color Classics, Volume 3, Issue number 9. This is City at War, Part 7 of 13. This one's really getting to the height point, and this is in colored form because black and white was years ago. Great turtle action. Leonardo gets kidnapped. We'll find out what happens next time.
Planet Hulk issue number 5. I really enjoyed this issue, but I am warning you guys in advance. We find out who Doc Green is. The ending kind of leaves a lot to be desired. Up to you guys again. I've been enjoying this series. I enjoyed it. The last issue kind of leaves you off, but again, I leave it up to you guys. I enjoyed Planet Hulk up until the last couple of pages. The artwork's really good.
Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 9. Darth Vader finds out more about the dragon and his whereabouts, so definitely something to check out if you want to read this comic book, because he's got some serious business to have with that dragon, along with other things.
And while you're talking about Darth Vader, let me tell you guys about Star Wars Shattered Empire issue number 1. This was an excellent first issue, great artwork, a really great story. This is bridging the gap between episode 6 and episode 7. We've got already the Inklings. This is a setup for the setup series. Loved it. Introduced 2 great characters, which are going to be connected to a character that's in the next Star Wars movie. And really great stuff. Definitely recommend it.
Starfire issue number 4. It's Starfire and Atlee against the Childa monster, and the way that they think, with a lot of strategies of how to defeat this monster was really genius. But it doesn't end there, because there are lots of stuff that's going to be happening more. So everything may be happy, yay, but not for long.
You want to do the other one too? Because I have a double
Yeah,
next.
speaking
I'll
of that,
switch these two to
that used to be Red Hood and the Outlaws team. We have Red Hood and Arsenal, issue number 4. This one is where they go up against Chappie Batman. I call him Chappie Batman because we all know it's Commissioner Jim Gordon, who's under the suit anyway. That fight off against each other, we found a little bit more of a backstory about Red Hood, and also they meet up with Chappie Batman in the end, but now it's the 3 of them against Underbelly, the new villain, and to be honest, I think they could come up with something better than Underbelly. I mean, that's just me. I'm just saying.
My 2 books, we got Superman Action Comics 44. Love the artwork, story's okay. We get introduced to Wrath, who is the leader of the Shadows, the Shadow Monsters that have been attacking Clark. It's an okay story, the stronger of the 2 this week, and in the end we find out Wrath is working with somebody and their plan is going into the final stages. Now, the lower of the 2, which is Batman Superman issue 24, which I didn't like the story, the artwork's I'm not a fan of what's going on with Batman Superman. Turns out starting the next issue, I found out during my review, that starting with issue 25, Superman will be teaming up with a member of the Bat family until Bruce Wayne comes back. So for the rest of the year, Superman will be teaming up with blank. Didn't like this issue. The ending, however, we find out who's working with Wrath, and it basically sets up for the next story arc in Batman Superman.
The Walking Dead issue number 146, to kill or not to kill? That is a question that Rick and his group, well, his group is going with the killing, and Rick's not into the whole killing thing. But after seeing what's been going on with the heads and everything on the stick and with Alpha's group, there's a big, huge twist of what Eugene does and just taking their daughter for the whole thing. That's calling out too much, I would say. But definitely for you Walking Dead fans out there, if you like the comic book, you'll definitely pick up this comic issue.
Civil War issue number 4. It took the predictable and added a really great twist to it. I'm enjoying this series. I know a lot of people aren't. I really particularly am enjoying it. There's a huge twist. Spoiler alert, T'Challa, who we saw in the end of the last issue, it turns out he's a Skrull, and it's the Skrulls that are forcing the Civil War to continue on. Really great stuff. I would definitely I would recommend this book if people ask me about it. I liked it. I really have been liking it. But again, it's up to you guys and your taste in books and artwork.
And finally for me, Robin Hood, issue number 14. Patrick Shan, he delivers each and every time I read this book. Robin Hood and Lisa Van Helsing team up with other members going up against these other demonic creatures, but it doesn't stop there because there are more people that are going to be going after Robin Hood. It seems like every time when they're done with some, another villain just pops out and just wants to take care of them.
Isn't it crazy?
It is crazy, really. But it's a really awesome story. Definitely pick this up by Patrick Shan. Genius, delivers every time. Just absolutely must get.
And the book I recommend for this week, Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, issue 5, the final issue. Awesome stuff in this book. Great ending. There was one thing that Jay pointed out tonight on Frontline Live that kind of takes you out of the book if you're expecting this to connect directly to Secret Wars. However, I love this book. This was Peter Parker, Mary Jane at their best. This is where Spider-Man should be at this point in time, and unfortunately we're not getting that when we go back to the main Marvel Universe, but I really recommend this book. Awesome artwork and great story, and it's by Dan Slott, scary enough. And that's it for the first recap episode, or for recap week 306. This is how they're going to be from now on. Obviously normally we're going to have a stretch between the episodes and the recaps, so this way it gives you guys time to check out the reviews. Again, this is a very abbreviated review of these books. If you'd like to see any of the books that we talked about in this episode, this week's books were all reviewed right here on this channel. You can go back and check out the whole list of videos. We either did them in groups or we did them as solo books, and a lot of the big two we actually did solo. The indie books we kind of grouped together a bit more. But you can check it out. All the books are in the titles. Any book you're interested in, go check it out. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about any of the specific videos here. Let us know if you like the recap show. I like having at least one show a week where we cover all the books and we talk about all the books, even if it's brief. We have only gone 15 minutes now because I have my timer set to 20. And we're about to hit the 5-minute mark, so we're about to hit 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this segment, guys. It's shorter, sweeter, gives you all the books we talked about. And now, based on our brief summary, if you're still interested in hearing more about the books involving you know, the actual story going into the books, spoilers. All you have to do is go check out the reviews on this channel this week. And starting next week, like I said, don't forget, they will be on comicfrontline.com and this channel. I will have links connected on the Facebook page to all the reviews Mike and I do on Frontline. So if it's on Frontline, it'll also be shared on the Dark Avenger Facebook page, Tumblr, and Blogger. So the videos will still be connected somewhere, and I might still add them somehow to the playlist, so this way you guys will actually be able to see them still. So that's it for the recap, guys.
Yep.
Mike is going to start heading behind the camera so we can finish off, but as always, guys, there's a lot of links below connected to this channel. Some sites I've already mentioned. There's also Twitter. Post a lot of tweets when it comes to the live shows or things that are going to be going on this channel. There's Twitch, which I have no clue what we're going to do with that yet. And there's also Instagram, where I post a bunch of pictures each and every week, or whatever extra we get before the haul video. So if you want to see something before the haul video, it would be on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us through week 306. This is the outro video as well. We are looking forward to week 307. Look forward to an intro tomorrow, because we're going to be starting week 307 immediately, and we're going to be doing that from tomorrow all the way through till next Tuesday. Look forward to a bunch of videos on this channel as well. Also, links below lead to comicfrontline.com, zone4podcast.com. Comic Frontline, videos and content added daily. Zone4podcast.com, a ton of podcasts each and every week, including 1 Free Podcast, which is on here, and a bunch of other podcasts, which will be coming soon. So until then, guys, take care. And don't forget, Frontline Gaming Zone's under construction. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you guys, or we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.
Later, everyone.